Watching wrestling is a beautiful thing. It can make you laugh, it can make you cheer, it can make you rise from your seat in elation. It can also make you boo louder than a ghost at a banshee orgy and hold your head in your hands as you wonder why, oh why, a match had to be booked in such a terrible way. Like I said, it's a beautiful thing. No matter what you hear about creative teams and writers, Vince McMahon is the man when it comes to giving the green light to everything. And when you've got the final decision being made by a man who literally didn't know what a burrito was, or why anyone would find Gail Kim attractive, it's going to lead to a few questionable choices on behalf of the WWE. Yet he's not the only one fudging around with the stories, as in the past there have been many wrestling bookings that have made less sense than what goes on inside Matt Hardy's head. With this in mind, I'm Jules from WhatCulture.com, and these are 8 absolutely ridiculous wrestling booking decisions nobody can explain. Number 8. Killing wrestling's hottest commodity. If you're going to bring Bret Hart, aka one of the best wrestlers that ever was from the WWF to WCW, you better make sure his debut was something f***ing special. His departure was monumental and industry-shaking for all of the publicity and ire it garnered, so how did WCW utilise this once-in-a-lifetime lightning-in-a-bottle moment? They stuck him in a comedy match as a special guest referee. Okay, why? I mean, the man is known as a technical wrestler. I'm not sure that translates very well over to the reffing side, yet it happened and fans everywhere were like, well, I guess this is something. It was meant to infer Hart's switch over to the NWO, but there were so many better ways of doing this. Number 7. Rob Van Dam. Oh, TNA, you had some of the weirdest storylines, one of which involved the debut of I Like to Jump Off Things man Rob Van Dam. Now, RVD wasn't a game changer thanks to an okay at best run with the WWE, but he was still uber over with the crowd. Therefore, it was a shame to see his first appearance on TNA in which he heroically and courageously attacked Sting from behind and then took a bigger beating than Yokozuna giving a handjob from the hands of Sting and his trusty bat. Then Hulk Hogan came to the ring, because of course he f***ing did, looking absolute ass, can I just say, and popped the crowd before Sting popped him. You were left wondering, okay, so what about Rob? Are we just going to ignore the fact that he's in the ring? Yeah, okay, cool, he's done. TNA clearly thought this too, though, as they retconned RVD's actions by making Hogan the heel and bringing Sting back to being babyface, and he was just lost in the mix. Brilliant. Number 6. A memorial for the memorial win. Cesaro infamously drew the hatred of Vince McMahon on a network edition of Steve Austin's podcast. Vince buried Cesaro for being a millennial or something, but Cesaro had connected with the audience by going on an absolute tear in the months leading up to Wrestlemania 30, at which he was rewarded in the shape of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale trophy. The fans in the New Orleans Superdome went absolutely apeshit because this was a star-making moment awarded to a guy they had anointed as a star. WWE swiftly severed this bond by allying Cesaro with heel mouthpiece Paul Heyman on the same night that he so callously bragged about shattering The Undertaker's streak. Cesaro's turn never once felt like a betrayal, more like a really bizarre and mistimed retcon of an on-fire babyface's character. The one silver lining never materialized either. Beast vs Superman didn't happen because Heyman and Cesaro amicably went their separate ways a scant 3 months later. Number 5. Extreme stupidity. Brock Lesnar returned to the WWE in 2012 equipped with an aura no wrestling promoter on Earth ever could have engineered. The man pissed credibility and, in a lovely moment, accused John Cena of pissing his pants at the thought of facing him. He even bloodied Cena hard way to sell the fact that a match with him was like stepping into our comments section with an open and positive mindset, in that you were going to get absolutely crucified. Which is why it was so f***ing weird to see Cena win. He did not need that win. Cena's career was not in any shape or form in danger. It was done for nothing, for no one except Vince's rager for the shovel-chinned big leaguer. It took Lesnar ending the streak to get that zeal back on his awfully tattooed chest once more. Number 4. Cooling wrestling's hottest commodity again. A lot of talk goes into CM Punk's awful mishandling by the WWE. They took a fierce and hungry talent and continue to feed him nothing but promises. And there's only so much of that you can take. But one of the less talked about angles that bypassed the Punk and could have given him a much needed boost was in 2011 when The Miz was positioned as a renegade union leader. Why was Miz given this role instead of Punk? It was clearly suited to the anti-hero and not a man who was, in all essence, a company shill. Instead, Punk continued to feud with Triple H just to job out to him again and again, and the WWE had managed to do the unthinkable. Come up with a great storyline for Punk, then bury him over in another part of the cemetery. Number 3. F***ing hell, bro. I mean, God. Poor Zack Ryder. This guy flew in the face of Vince and so many other backstage politicians by getting himself over by attrition and charm. And how did they reward him? They stuck a belt on him, then abused him until he dropped it. Then they stuck the IC belt on him for one night and beat him into the ground even more. The words missed opportunity feel like a massive understatement, and one can only assume that he must have Stockholm Syndrome or something now as a result, because why else would you stick with a company that has treated you so badly? I mean, who willingly allows themselves to be pushed off a fucking stage in a wheelchair? Come on, man. Number 2, Macho Madness. Vince, in another odd moment in the early 1990s, thought that as his company was coming close to extinction thanks to the likes of scandals and Hogan and Warrior departing, that a youth movement of younger stars was needed. And by that, I mean he just hashed out gassed-up Golden Era star to try and relive his glory days. But this doesn't explain the relegation of Macho Man Randy Savage to the commentary table, since he looked in superb condition. Savage desperately wanted to get back into the ring, as he proved in the Great Indian Summer of 1997, where basically he said, "I can still go in said ring." McMahon refused to relent though, outside of a program with Crush of all people. No, Savage was a dinosaur, and McMahon was the meteorite. What's incredible about this sequence of events is, though, that bang in the midst of formally declaring this movement via the New Generation branding, McMahon booked Roddy Piper vs Jerry Lawler as the main event of King of the Ring 1994, which Savage then called. It was possibly the most insane aspect of a career built on Macho Madness. And number 1, Brock Lesnar defeats Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 34. Heading into the big event, the mere idea that Brock Lesnar could possibly beat Roman Reigns at the Showcase of the Immortals was preposterous. But that's exactly what happened. The Beast put the big dog down in brutal fashion, leaving him an absolute bloody mess. This despite 3 full years of build, during which the WWE had not only done everything in their power to present Roman as the guy, but also the Universal Champion-elect. Now, granted, Reigns would have likely been booed out of the building, but that's not the point. Having him lose rendered the past 3 years pointless. On top of this, Lesnar's win has come at a time when fatigue towards his part-time reign is at an all-time high, compounding this baffling decision.
Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Aren't you a star? Don't forget to subscribe below, and also the people who made this video, they're right here, so go and follow them and give them some love. If you want to see more content, there's probably some stuff flowing up above my head. Why not check it out? It could be fun. I'm not your dad.